On the jump, we've been talking about how impressive the Lakers have been this season. In fact, if the playoffs started today, yes, the Lakers would be in.
Chill.
But what's happening tonight, people?
Chill.
Kawhi Leonard is happening tonight. Ramona, you're going to be at Lakers Spurs this evening. Do folks around the league think that this is a game where we could see the young Lakers taught a little bit of a lesson in the ways of the world?
The whole next week is. I mean, they play the Spurs Friday, and then they play the Warriors twice next week. So this is where you find out if the Lakers are for real. Look, the Lakers are 7-5, and they're not even good yet. Like, I'm on the list right now, okay? How many possessions where the guy is the roll man in a pick and roll are any of the young Lakers on this list? I'm going scrolling.
They're not on it.
None of them. Like, Julius Randle should be a great pick and roll player. Timothy Mozgov should be a great pick.
They're still learning.
They're not even doing that, and they're still good.
They are still learning, and they are good. They're exciting to watch. I can't believe I'm saying that the young Lakers are exciting to watch. Seriously, I look forward to seeing these guys play. This is not about them getting exposed tonight. This is a measuring stick for this team, just to see where we stand against a really good team. Yeah, we've beaten Golden State, but they was coming off a back-to-back. We beat Houston's first game of the season.
Right.
Let's see how we stand against the Spurs, who came in here and was waiting for us. And shout out to Swaggy P.
Defense.
He's finally getting it. I like to see that. He's playing
But
D.
he's not Swaggy P anymore, by the way. It's Uncle P.
Nah.
No, I'm serious.
Well, Nick Young.
Not to Tracy. He's not Uncle P. It's not, that's not happening. That buzzer means it's time for Make or Miss. Make putbacks. Zach LaVine had this awesome jam off of a missed free throw last night, but Ramona, we had to be a little happy the refs didn't call lane violation here.
Such a lane violation.
Come
That's the worst thing, but I still like it.
But I'm all for the spectacular show, so who cares?
I was ready to get out of there just like I didn't want to watch that game.
James Harden posted a Snapchat of himself, not like Draymond did. It was of him doing leg presses after posting a triple-double in the win over the Blazers last night. You impressed? Do you think he's going to chill it, T-Mac?
No, this is what guys typically do after games. I mean, this is nothing
Yeah, but
new.
why didn't you do Snapchatting? Like, everybody knows you're working hard. That's like when people get out there and shoot extra after they don't have a good game.
Make praise. After snapping a 3-game skid last night, the Wizards tweeted, "This one's for you, kid."
Oh, that's the little pole.
Right?
Listen, man, that's where they found their motivation right there.
Right?
The little kid, they need to bring him to every game.
Come on now.
They're going to win.
Give the little kid credit for the
last
win. Make the A-list. Tony Parker tweeted this picture of himself with George Clooney and Matt Damon after they played basketball together last night. Oh, look at this old Clooney footage.
Good. What are you doing to me? We got George Clooney and The Rock in one segment. How am I even speaking English right now?
That was a nice dirt. I like that.
That little bit with the 2x4 and walking tall. Oh.
He went between the legs with no dribble.
That I needed to know now. I like the Clooney dribble thing, right?
Go Clue.
And guys, last night the national TV audience got a look at some of the young and coming teams in the NBA. The Sixers, the Timberwolves, and the Jazz. Now, Utah, well, we've been hearing for years, right? The Jazz are about to make some noise. The roster, very balanced. The players, very talented. The coach, very good. For the Jazz, the goal is clear here. Stop just being the darlings of the insider crowd and actually, become a force to be reckoned with on the court. And for the most part, they have been doing that. Last night, they were missing 2 of their starters, so we got to cut them a break there. But when their full talent has been available, they've been nearly unbeatable. As for the Sixers, well, in their own way, they have clear standards for success as well. No one's expecting them in the postseason. Frankly, no one's expecting them to win many games. But hey, if Joel Embiid can stay healthy and measurably develop, that's a win. And if the fan base, can feel something other than hopeless despair every time a Sixers score flashes across their phones, that is another win too, people. Where things get more complicated is with the Timberwolves. They're clearly the best collection of young talent in the NBA. Their roster just crackles with possibility every time you pick it up. And while last season they were thrown into a tailspin by the sad death of Flip Saunders, this year things are different. They have one of the elite coaches in the league. They have players like Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns for whom the standard, well, it's moved past, frankly, what it is with Embiid, just that question of are you developing? And look, there is no doubt Wiggins has been a revelation this season. He is leading the league in three-point percentage. Leading, and not just by a little. But there is a difference between scoring and winning. And to me, this is the year that winning has to be more of what we judge this team by. Carl Towns sat on the jump set with me and Tracy last spring and told us his bar for success this season would be making the playoffs. Well, right now the Wolves are 4-7 and not really close to that track. My hope is that the win over the Sixers last night is the start of them turning the corner. Because at 11 games in, you certainly don't need to be in playoff shape yet, but you do need to at least look like you know what that is. So, guys, I was going to ask Tracy this first, but, you know, he's got his phone out. He's texting Karl Anthony Towns right now.
Probably.
I know.
Hold
He's
on,
like, wait,
Rachel.
what should I be saying? My standard for success is they should be making the playoffs. What's
Hold
yours?
on. Did you say in your monologue that win last night, you think they should have turned the corner? They played the Spurs last night? Or the Golden State
They
Warriors?
did not snarf up the lead in the third quarter. That is a building block for this team, which maybe, by the way, is too low a bar. Well, so do you agree with me that they're not as on track as they should be right now?
They're definitely underachieving.
Okay.
I had high hope for these guys, considering the talent level that they have, with Wiggins being better, Anthony Carl Towns, he's becoming better. And the pieces that they have, you suspected that they came into the season strong, and then you add an elite coach to this bunch, but then you look at Kevin Garnett's gone. No leadership. It's a bunch of young talent, but no real leadership.
Well, you're also learning, though, how to play in the system that Tom Thibodeau is installing there, and that's another leap forward. But if I would have told you at the beginning of the season that the Lakers would be 7-5 and the Timberwolves would be 4-7,
right,
wouldn't you have said, no, don't you have that reversed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the Timberwolves, the Lakers are right now where you thought the Timberwolves would be, and vice versa. I think it's too soon to say anything about that team right there. But when I saw Karl Towns play yesterday, like you knew he was coming, you knew he was good.
Man.
But I was texting with GM, scouts, everybody yesterday. He is right.
He's a ride.
Yeah, when he went over through Embiid and then over that, I mean, that was amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know he had that above the rim.
Listen, this is 11 games into the season. I mean, these guys still have a lot of time to turn it around. They're a young bunch.
Absolutely, but there is a devil's advocate here, too, that winning is a cultural thing, right? And that you have to start having that culture of winning, just like, yeah, you've improved. Isn't this great?
Well, they started with adding tips to this collection of talent.
Right.
So hopefully, these guys learn from this.
Defense should be a little better. The third quarter stuff should be to get a little bit better. I would like to see Karl Anthony Towns be a little bit more aggressive now that he has all these tools, how to use them. Towns and Embiid, of course, went head-to-head last night. And it's always fashionable, right? We were all on Anthony Davis, and then everyone switched to Karl Anthony Towns last year, and then now everyone's all excited by Joel Embiid. Who do you think has the stronger upside long-term?
This is tough. Both of these guys are phenomenal talents. Embiid, with his footwork, reminds me a little bit.
I know where you're going. Are you going to say the Dream?
Of Dream.
Oh,
with his footwork. With his footwork. You don't see guys in our league today doing stuff like this.
That is so. I love that side to side.
So
you can show that again. That's just so much fun.
It's hard to say. Both of their ceilings are extremely high.
Right.
They're both talented guys. I would have to pick, close my eyes and just pick one.
So do it. Pick one.
I have to touch him. I mean, he's
All right, well, I will pick one. I'll say Karl Towns.
Okay.
Because I think Karl's got a more well-rounded game. Plus, he doesn't. Okay, I'm going to knock on wood as I say this. Okay, it's glass, so is that enough? He doesn't have an injury history. Yeah. He's not on a minutes restriction. I mean, look at him shoot. He's got a three-point game. He is he's a 5, but he's a stretch 5. He's got an above-the-rim game. He is so skilled. And,
he is.
And just maturity-wise, you've had him on the show. You've talked to him.
He is.
I remember talking to him
crazy.
Talking to him last year, and we did this interview where the mics weren't working, the camera wasn't working. He was sitting there waiting around 20 minutes, and we're all trying to stall, right? And he was telling me kind of what his summer was like. And I remember him saying, he goes, yeah, I really like being out in Los Angeles. I would actually just go out and walk around. And I'm like, what do you mean walk around? He was like, yeah, I just walk down Melrose. And I'm like, just by yourself? And he was like, yeah, I'm fine with it. And I've never heard a kid that young go around Los Angeles, just being curious about the world, curious about his place, and not needing a ton of people around him to validate him and kiss up to him.
I do think you're right, though, about a veteran, because Rubio obviously is a more veteran presence on the floor. I don't know if in the locker room he's the one to teach you about the culture of winning, just because he's been in that franchise where they haven't had that. You kind of wonder if that makes a difference. I just got can we show it again? Can we, Danny? Producer Danny is telling me we can show it again. Can we show it again? Yes, we can show it. Come on, show that side by side.
Look at that.
That's so good. So good.
Please show the other
Thank
one.
you, producer Danny. Boom.
Oh, that's so good.
There
It's like
we
I think
go.
he studied
Footwork.
like Hakeem.
I love it. I love
Hates.
that. I think I could just watch that on a loop. I
Yeah.
do want to move on to Chandler
love that.
Parsons, though, because, look, the
Lord.
story has gotten so good today, even. We know Parsons signed the $94 million deal with Memphis in July. Still plenty of hard feelings for Mavs fans. Memphis plays at Dallas tonight, and Parsons had this to say, quote, "So when it comes to Dallas, you're going to get mad at me because Dirk decided to take less money to bring in a real good player." That
What?
would
No,
be me.
really good player.
And then, unfortunately, he gets hurt. That's why you're mad? Sure. Boomy. Look, this is just the latest in what's been quite a saga. If you have not read the amazing ESPN.com article that Tim McMahon put out this morning, you really need to go to the website. Yeah. The story details all of the carousing that Chandler and Mark Cuban used to do together, how things went wrong. I mean, Ramona, is this really about where the line should be between a player and an owner? Because it seems like it's caused incredible hard feelings.
Yeah, I thought that was a great article that Tim had, because one of the issues that he got into was simply when Chandler was like, he was so close to Mark Cuban that in a lot of ways the people around Mark Cuban resented it, right? Dirk Nowitzki, Rick Carlisle, Donnie Nelson, these are other guys who run the franchise.
Again, because of a lot of drinking. No, I'm sorry. Go read the story.
Yeah.
It was
Chandler
like
Parsons is a
clubs
smart man.
right? He knew who to go hang out
Well,
with,
he
right?
flat out said, Mark Cuban is my guy. He's an owner who's believed and supported me, and that's why we were so close.
Bought me a lot of alcohol.
Just the amount that they were strategizing about how the Mavs should be built is inherently threatening to everybody else. Not to mention he got hurt 2 years in a row. So if you're going to give $94 million to a guy with that injury history, you better be really sure that that's the one you want to build your franchise around.
Yeah, I think he needs to go back and give Dirk Nowitzki his money.
Just a little check.
He needs to write him a check, give the whole organization back their money.
Dirk's the one who said yes. Like, nobody's
It-
twisting Dirk's arm. You know, Dirk doesn't even have an agent. Like,
correct.
Dirk is just a guy who is honest, takes things as they come.
Yeah, but I mean,
Loyal.
give $94 million to somebody that's proved their worth, prior to coming to your organization, not based off of a friendship. He got $94 million off of a friendship, not because.
Well, nobody twisted Memphis's arm.
I was going to say,
And
why do you think Memphis gave him that money, though?
who else they were going to give it to? This guy. This is the one guy in history.
You could have gone back. No,
I'm sure.
Portland was going to offer him a
this
max,
guy
too.
that I thought our league was like, what have you done for me lately? Like, what have you ever done for me?
Like,
To get 2 max deals.
one of the best parts of Tim's story
Hats off to him, though.
Right.
I ain't mad at him.
You're hating, but also admiring right there. I know you well enough to know this now.
Like, one of the best parts of Tim's story was where he talked about when it became clear that the Mavs just wanted Chandler to accept the 1 year, $16 million that he had left on his deal, like not opt out of his player option. Mark Cuban apparently stopped returning his text messages and calls.
Like someone else we know. Who?
DeAndre Jordan?
There we go. Just a little DeAndre
Parsons
Jordan move there.
hate.
There we go. All right, before we go to break, I do want to take a minute
Don't hate,
to
Tracy.
I never
this is
hate.
nice. This is a nice story. We want to welcome back the Pelicans' Drew Holiday, right? This is lovely. He's returning to the court tonight. If you haven't been following this story, it's been a roller coaster. Drew is married to Lauren Holiday. Yes, that's the same Lauren Holiday who won 2 gold medals and a World Cup title as a member of the U.S. women's soccer team. But this past year, Lauren, who was pregnant with the couple's first child, was diagnosed with a brain tumor. In the months since, the family has seen the baby safely delivered. The tumor in Lauren's brain has been removed. And now Drew feels she's strong enough he can now return to the court. We've talked about the Pelicans' problems a lot on this show, and they are still real. But it is important to note how incredibly supportive the organization has been of Drew and of Lauren. They have gone way above and beyond pretty much on every level. And we were just talking a little bit about how sports is a business, and that is true. But one of the special things about the NBA is that sometimes it's also not. So when Drew walks onto the court tonight, both he and the team deserve a hearty round of applause. Right, guys?
Welcome back,
Absolutely.
Drew. I know
That was
AD
awesome.
misses you.
That is true.